Right in. Big thanks, of course, to the EFLtalks team for organising this. I've been loving it. So my question is, how can I get started making videos for my students? And I'm going to interpret this as a little different. I'm going to interpret it as, how can I get started making videos for my students when I have no money? Because I think one of the problems for all of us as English teachers is we're not very rich. And so I want to look at some ways here. I mean, there are so many good reasons for making videos for your students. It can add a personal touch to your classes. Russell's been speaking to us today about the value of the flipped classroom. And it gives us opportunities to take our lessons out of the classroom because we can film anywhere. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, how we can make money with how we can make videos with no money. Because that's the best way to start, I think. And first of all, you're going to need a little bit of equipment, but it doesn't have to cost a lot. This is my friend Christina's workshop. And you can see it looks a bit of a mess. If you look at her pictures, her videos, they're beautiful. The scenes she shoots have got wonderful backgrounds and they're lovely. But in terms of what she needs to do it, this is the workspace. And you can see she's using IKEA lamps. I don't know if she bought them, I doubt it. A camera on a tripod, a microphone, a laptop with a video editing program, and a piece of paper, which is what she calls her teleprompter. She's also got a strong cup of coffee on the desk as well to keep her fortified. So we're going to look at all these pieces of equipment, and hopefully you've got a lot of these things lying around already. So we'll look at them and see what you're going to need. But before we do that, we need to think about what kind of videos you want to make. What's the video genre you want to have? Is it horror? Is it romance? Is it comedy, fantasy, thriller? Who knows? But my point is, you don't actually have to necessarily stick to the teacher on the whiteboard. That said, the teacher at the whiteboard is a very popular format when you're starting out, and you'll find lots of videos like this on YouTube. So the teacher basically writes examples on the board and talks about them, and sometimes they're scripted, they prepare what they're going to say beforehand, and other times they're unscripted. Now, I just want to mention something that non-native teachers have sometimes said to me about this. They've said, Vicki, I'm concerned that I might make mistakes, and nobody wants to look like an idiot on camera. I don't. So one of the things I do is I tend to script my videos. But I want to say something. I've seen some fantastic videos created by non-native teachers on YouTube. YouTube is a great equalizer because it's not actually about who's the most sophisticated, who has the most sophisticated English. It's about who's the most interesting and entertaining to watch. So I'd say go for it and don't worry about making mistakes, because just do it. Now, and I'd also say, by all means, consider the whiteboard scenario, but think about other things you could do as well. There are some very successful videos on YouTube by Espresso English, where they're just using animated text and pictures. No person, you can't see people in it at all. Very simple, but very effective. I like to go for lots of skits and stories in my videos. And if you think of Jason Levine, Fluency MC, he does it with songs. So you don't have to stick to the video genre, to the whiteboard genre. Okay, camera. You do not need to spend a lot of money on that expensive big camera at the top left. You can just use your cell phone or your webcam. It's amazing the quality we get from our video cameras these days. And I want to give a shout out here to my son Tom, who's got a channel called True Life English on YouTube. Please go and check him out, because the tagline for this channel is Two Guys and a Cell Phone. They are shooting fantastic videos, I think. I know I'm his mother, so I'm biased. But they're doing all kinds of things with just cell phones. And they're going in the last video, they downloaded some free apps. So they had effects like spiders coming down and chasing them away and the cars exploding. You can do an awful lot with your existing cell phone. Okay, next. Tripods and lights. You are going to need to put your cell phone on something still so that it doesn't wobble about. So that's something you might need to invest in, a little tripod for your cell phone. And you'll find those little gorilla ones that you can set up there are great. You don't need the big tripod, you can set the bottom. But the other cool thing about a tripod is it makes you think about how you're going to frame your shot so it looks pretty. And then it's a question of just following basic rules of photography. You all know that when you take a photograph, you get better results if the sun is behind you. You want the sun behind you and your subject matter, your subject, looking into the sun if you can. It's the same with video. And it's the same when you're shooting videos indoors. Put lots of light on the subject and it will brighten up your video. And it doesn't have to be expensive lights. You know, IKEA ones would do fine. Microphones. Okay. Try out the microphone that comes in your camera, and quite possibly it's good enough. If not, you might want to go and buy yourself a little mic. We use lavalier mics. By lavalier, I mean these sorts of mics you can see here that you can clip on your lapel or on your clothing. And they often give very good sound and can be very cheap. You don't need an expensive one. You don't need to go and spend a lot of money on this. And in fact, what you'll probably find, once you get excited and you're taking off with doing this, is that a microphone is probably the first thing you'll want to invest in. It's what a lot of people find, because it does make a big impact, have a big impact on the quality of your videos. Next thing you're going to need is some editing software. And again, you don't have to spend a penny. If you're a Mac user, go for iMovie. If you're a PC user, use Windows Movie Maker. And there are other free tools around on the web as well that you can use, including YouTube's video editor. Now, editing software can look very complicated. There's the editing software that I use at the bottom, and sure, it does look complicated, but you'll find lots and lots of videos on YouTube, instructional videos, that will tell you how to do it. And they all work the same way. There's a timeline across the bottom of your screen, and in it you'll find your videos, you'll find your sound, your music, your text, and you can make things longer or shorter in the timeline. You can apply effects to them so they can spin around, they can become transparent, they can fade in, you can do all sorts of things. And wow, once you get going on editing, it's such fun. Okay, number 8. You've made your video. Where are you going to put it for your students to see it? Now, YouTube is the most common place people go to. And you can make your YouTube video private, unlisted, or public. Private means only you can see it. You can't share it with anyone unless you give them your Google identity to log in with. Unlisted is probably what you want to do if you want to keep some sort of measure of privacy over your video. So you can list it unlisted, send the students the link, and they'll all be able to watch it. And then if you're brave, and why not share? Just hit that public button. And I know people think, oh, it's YouTube, I've seen negative comments there. And sometimes we've had negative comments, but I could count the number on the fingers of one hand. Most days I get 1 or 2 comments more telling me, I really like your videos, thank you so much. So why not share them with the world? Now, if you don't want to go via YouTube, there are some alternatives. You can go to Google Doc, OneDrive, Facebook, Vimeo, Dropbox. The issue is that video files are quite large, so you are not going to just be able to attach them to an email and post it, usually, and send it. Another good thing about using YouTube is they have a creator studio that you can use. So, and this is on the left-hand side here, you can see all the different things that are in it. You can look at your analytics to see how many people have watched your video. You can even see it in live time. They also have the video editor that I just mentioned, and they've also got the audio library. Is that it? Am I going over, Rob? Shall I stop? Okay, right, I'll keep going. We're nearly there. Okay, now, that music library that YouTube has got is great, because one of the issues you could hit is copyright. If you take a piece of music that you've got, that you pay for, you bought the CD, and now you want to put it in your video, there could be a problem. YouTube could block it because the rights of that video still belongs with the copyright owners, and you can't share it. So, in that YouTube Creator Studio, you will find listed under that audio editor, you'll find all sorts of music that you can use for free, that YouTube's provided. And they've even got songs there that are big, famous songs that you can use, where the money will go to the owner of the music, but you can still use them, so that's very cool. I was able to post a music video by David Bowie the other day. It was lovely. Another issue is, can I shoot in this location? Am I allowed to shoot this person? Basically, you need to ask for permission before you start shooting. People have a right to privacy. Of course we do. There are some free sources of public domain video, and in the bottom left there you can see archive.org, and you'll find some videos there that you will be able to use in your videos for free. Very, very old used videos, sort of black and whites usually. Okay, final tip, collaborate. It's so much more fun to be making videos with other people, and we're all learning how to do it. So the more of us on a set there are, the better, because then we can spot it when things go wrong and a plug isn't in or something like that, and we can share ideas. I've learned so much from these people and being able to work with them. So I say, don't work alone, go get your friends to help you, and your students are going to love you for it. Thank you very much. How have I done time-wise?
It was 25 minutes, but that's okay.
Oh, no!
No, I'm kidding. I'm only joking.